Good morning. How are you today? It's an overcast day here, and there are crows. Sounds like they're fighting, which is kind of a symbol of the craven nature of our politics right now. Although we have, on the one hand, if you will, the throwback candidate, Mr. Trump, versus, if you will, the Democratic Eisenhower, Biden, who speaks about bringing us together and restoring the nation, building back better. I think a good symbol of what's wrong with America is when Chuck Schumer, whom I once worked for as special counsel on the House side, he tried to get everybody to talk. He closed down the Senate with a vote to go into executive session to have a frank discussion about where they were. And this is a body that normally is very formal and very respectful. But almost as soon as they closed down the session, they opened it up again and had no discussion. And the last time I saw such an impasse in Congress was the 2000 election, when basically the Supreme Court decided the outcome. And what are we seeing? I think we're seeing entropy increasing. Entropy is a measure of disorder, and it has been spurred on, and its catalyst was Trump with his views that were antithetical to the American tradition. There's a kind of math that you probably know about, complexity math. It's also called chaos math, and what it's really about is that slight changes in initial conditions over time and the iterations of one thing cause and effect leading to another can have dramatic effects where it originated or around the world. So an infection in Wuhan in China could have enormous reactions around the world, such that, if I have my numbers correct, we had 84,000 infections yesterday. We have 220,000 deaths, and we're not doing anything about it. We're not doing anything to stop the disorder, to cure the entropy, to restore order. And order and law go hand in hand. And so in the Senate, for example, in a couple of weeks, the gavel may change hands and Democrats may be running it. And will they do better than we're doing now? I would hope so. This goes back to our original sin, I think. You want to talk about initial conditions. America was founded by, quote, explorers. And two things happened. One is we brought slaves and we found slaves and we used slaves, though humans. And among our founders were those who called themselves Christian, like today. We also, because of the theory that if a land was occupied, then you had to buy it or make arrangements. So we set upon getting rid of the inhabitants, Native Americans, and we did a hell of a job. And I think that has been one of the parallel feelings in America from that day to this that we wrestle with. Now, after our Constitution, we did perfect the Union. We expanded the vote, now threatened in this election. We expanded equal rights so that women, persons of color, gay, and so on, would be treated as equal, and that's at risk now. So what I'm saying is there are those who still embrace the sorry aspects of our founders, who tolerated and made a deal in the Constitution to incorporate slavery into the Constitution, see Dred Scott. And those who, like you and I, have empathy, have humanity. And so we don't want to see a child in custody and be told they can be taken from their parents and they're being taken care of well. What parent, what child can imagine that this is something good, that this says something good about America? And the people who support it care about a fetus, but not at all about what? Because this child is brown, from another nation, xenophobic. We are in a position where, to restore America, We have to have an overwhelming vote. And I'm sure you and I have voted or made plans already, and we need to get somebody else to vote before the election is closed, so that any challenge to this election appears frivolous and does not further compromise the order and the notion of America that spurred us so many years to do so many good things, and recently to do so many bad things for those people who are unemployed, who are homeless, who don't have food, who built businesses, and now they're at risk because the government won't help them. We need a new government, and we need Biden, and we can expect, I think, a beginning to repair the America that's been harmed and destroyed by these people that associate themselves with Trump. I don't understand them. I find them incomprehensible. But that's a difference in values. That's a difference in standards. Aristotle said nothing improves your aim like having a target. That's our target. So get out and get some fresh air. Vote if you haven't. I doubt that any of you haven't voted. Get a friend to vote. Get a second friend to vote. Contribute $5 or $10, as some of you have written me that you've done, so that we can win this thing and throw this oaf out of the West Wing. All the best. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.